Member for Hunter.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. As a former Water Minister and now Prime Minister, is he satisfied that the Shenhua mine project in the Agriculture Minister's electorate poses no threat to precious water resources in the agriculture sector? And will the Prime Minister review the decision to deny farmers the right to appeal against mine approvals?
Call the Prime Minister. The member for Corangamite will cease interjecting. The member for Corangamite will cease interjecting.
I am very happy to take this.
The member for Grain.
I'm in charge of EPBC approvals.
The minister has the call. The minister has the call. The member for Grain, the resume his seat. The minister has the call.
Well, thank you very much, Mr Speaker, and I am absolutely delighted to take this question because the first thing is that it contains an utterly false assertion.
Member for Jagga will
an
cease
utterly
interjecting.
false assertion. The farmers of Australia have had, will continue to have, and right now have the ability to have and make any representation under law through an appeal, whether it is under Section 487 or whether it's under Section 5 of the Administrative Decisions Judicial Review Act. So, and it's also important to note. It's also important to note that this provision, which you now want to criticise, was the very one that the entire Labor Party voted for in the Western Sydney Airports Bill. They voted for that same standing provision themselves, which they now want to criticise. As did you.
The minister will resume his seat. Minister will resume his seat. The minister will resume his seat. The member for Grainler will not give directions on a point of order.
Yes, Mr Speaker.
What's the point of order?
What's the point of order? The minister is misleading the House.
The member for Grainler will resume his seat. The minister has the call. Member for Bass is warned.
They are sensitive about the fact that they voted for precisely this provision. So that's the issue in relation to standing. Firstly, an utterly false statement that right now and under any proposed alternative, farmers have the absolute right to stand up for and challenge any decision. The second thing is, in relation to the Shenhua decision, there were extraordinary provisions put in place, the most stringent in Australian history, and there are 3 further sets of reviews to be taken. 3 further sets of reviews which will be assessed. And these are standards above and beyond anything else that we have seen in Australian history. And so yes, sometimes as an Environment Minister you have to deal with the things which are placed before you in the docket. They are there on the list that is before you, and you have to deal with it not on the basis of politics, but on the basis of the best available science. And there wasn't just 1 or 2, 3 or 4, 5, but 6 different scientific reviews. 6 different scientific reviews which set out that the conditions were utterly acceptable. More than that, I approached the Independent Expert Scientific Committee and asked them for additional comments and additional advice and incorporated every one of their recommendations. So that's the careful approach which we have taken. And I am utterly satisfied that on the steps taken to date, no other Environment Minister in Australia could have come to a different conclusion on the law or the science. At the end of the day, the people elected this government to make decisions on the basis of the law and to make decisions on the basis of the science. And as well as that, we have put in place 3 further review or plan mechanisms which will have to be fulfilled. So we've made—
Minister's time's expired. Resume his seat. The member for Cowan has the